Alrighty, everybody, welcome to Casual Sports Talk Podcast, Final Four World Cup edition. And now we got a gentleman right over here who's just going to be like me when they still say England, it's not coming home. Here's Chris.
I can agree with that, sir. I don't believe England's going to win it all. I mean, there's probably four of the top teams in the World Cup. Absolutely deserved by all four of these teams to be in the Final Four. But I don't think England's going to take it home. But yeah, you're right, sir. I agree with you.
I mean, are you telling me you don't love it when the Englishmen are like, it's coming home, mates. It's coming home. Me and my mates at the pub, it's coming home.
I've never heard anyone say that before. England, like English people. Yeah, I've never heard anyone say it like that.
Yeah, but anyway, we got to probably talk about the thoughts on the Final Four World Cup right over here, and also the quarterfinals right over here. Christopher, did you have any thoughts on this quarterfinals and the teams that made it in?
Like I said, the only upset I picked, I thought there was going to be at least one upset. All four of the teams were favored to win their matchups, and doubly so. They did it. France and Spain playing on Tuesday, then England and Argentina playing on Wednesday for the two semifinals. The only upset I picked was Norway over England. Norway had a couple chances that could have put away the Three Lions. They didn't convert. And that's why England's in it. But yeah, that's my only big thought on it, really, for the quarterfinals. I mean, France. We know Morocco finished fourth back in 2022 in the World Cup. But when you go up against France probably has top four. I don't know about top four, but their forwards are amazing, is what I'm trying to say. And it's tough to stop France. They're a fast team. That's why I'm picking them to win it all. So
yeah, and I will say it. I think honestly, this it's kind of funny. It's like the March Madness a couple years ago. The top four rankings in the pre-FIFA before the World Cup was these top four teams, and ironically, the Final Four are the top four teams. Ironically,
wow, it's like picking a March Madness bracket when you have like the top four teams. They make it to the Final Four. But then there's like some crazy stuff that happens, within the bracket, like Norway making it all the way to the Elite Eight, Switzerland making it. There's some other upsets, like Germany losing to Paraguay. That probably was very not expected. But then you have like you said, Stuart, how FIFA ranked these four teams as the top four, and here they are sitting pretty in the two semifinals.
Yeah, we'll see how this one goes indeed, and we'll talk about the first game right over here, which was France versus Morocco. France pretty much was dominant. It was 0-0 in the first half, and then Dictator Mbappé scored his first goal, and then they scored another goal in the 66th minute to pretty much beat them 2-0. Ironically, in the Final Four, it was France versus Morocco. France won this game, and France won this game again.
Oh, last year's Final Four in the semifinals, France
versus
4
years ago, semifinal, 2022, yes.
Do we know the final score of that game?
I think it was like 3-4. It was like 3-4. I can look that up. Look at that up right over here. But look at that, France yet again.
Oh yeah, look at. So I've got it right here. So in 2022 in the semifinal, France beat Morocco 2-0, and here we go. We got a repeat history. France won 2-0. So you have Mbappé in the 60th minute, Dembele in the 66th minute. Yeah, like I said, it's tied at halftime. I was like, oh, maybe Morocco has a chance, but no, France put them away.
And I guess we'll have to probably do the eulogy of the final African nation right over here to make it this far. Morocco goes out. They lose to France again. How do you feel about
Morocco? I might be too casual. Morocco's an African country?
It's Northern African, Chris.
I didn't know that because I know next year. Let me see.
It's going to be it's going to be like quads teams in 2020.
Well, next year the three host countries are Morocco, Portugal, and Spain.
Yes, I should say 2030 to be precise.
Yeah, sorry, I said next year. Yeah, next World Cup. You're right.
Yeah, World Cup.
So Morocco, an African country, is also being a host with Portugal and Spain.
Yeah. So, like I said, not the first time an African nation basically hosts a World Cup, but I mean, I guess if you're Morocco, you still made it still good. You still got there. It's just, can you do it the third time? You know what I mean? With this like core of a talent right over here, you made it to the Final Four. You made it to the final. You made it to the Elite Eight. You're probably the strongest African nation right over here. But
plus, since they're a host in 4 years, they get an automatic bid. Like they're already qualified since they're a host team. So we'll see them in 2030.
yeah, we'll see them in 2030 on this one. And I guess unfortunately for Morocco, we'll see you when we host the World Cup in 2030, basically, because you are Moroccan out.
That's right.
And speaking of teams, I was a little bit nervous. I thought Spain was going to lose this game, but then they won it. That 18-year-old did it. He scored the second goal, 2-1 right over here against Belgium. It was actually a good game. Honestly, it was probably my pretty much a highlight for this game. Spain will be going to the Final Four. Again, it's been a little while since they made the Final Four.
Which one is the 18-year-old for Spain? That's how casual I am. Is it Fabian Ruiz or Mikel Merino?
I think it might be Merino.
Gotcha. All right, sounds good.
I think it might be Merino. If it's the age. Oh no, it's Fabio Ruiz. It's Ruiz. I'm sorry.
It is Fabian Ruiz. Nice.
Yes, he is the 18-year-old sensation right over here. Honestly, they pretty much had expected goals. I mean, honestly, shot on goals they had higher 8-2 against Belgium. But good for Spain. They finally get to make it to the Final Four. I mean, I'm trying to think. I think when was the last time Spain made it to the Final Four?
Probably just a few years ago.
Yeah, because it wasn't the last. It's been a while. I should say Final Four. Final Four last time. Thank you, ChatGPT. I'm going to ask this right now. When is the last time? When is the last time they made the Final Four? 2010. So when they won the World Cup in 2010. So they're the longest of anybody that has not actually made it to the Final Four, actually. Yeah. So it's been 3 World Cups ago. And they did win the World Cup this time. So
you know what's crazy is Spain doesn't really make the Final Four, the semifinal stage too often. Because even before 2010, 2006 made it to the round of 16, 2002 quarterfinals, 1998 group stage. Last time they made the semifinals was actually never, besides 2010. Wow.
Yeah, 2010 is the
one thing that Spain's supposed to be the dominating country in the World Cup. Oh, wow.
I mean, they won the first World Cup in 2010. So, like I said, they've always been that dominant, but they could never get to that hump. And then, like I said, you win the World Cup, it changes narratives. It can change narratives or reinforce narratives.
Well, I mean? Like I said, in 2030, Spain is one of the host countries. So they better make it pretty far. They better shape up and boot out in 2030.
I mean, like I said, and also don't you hear about the rumors that they're considering expanding to 64-team tournament? God, why?
Are you serious?
Yes, they are considering doing it in 2030, even though they already expanded it in 2026 from 32 to 48. Could you at least win a couple more World Cups?
I wonder if they would lose viewers over expanding to 64 countries. Because, I mean, obviously, they definitely got viewers this year, but obviously, the United States has been a great host country. Sorry, Canada, United States, and Mexico have been great host countries. Maybe that is a correlation, or maybe because they expanded to what was it, 48 teams this year? Maybe
48 teams.
Maybe that's a direct correlation. But 64, an additional 16 teams. That's an additional 4 groups. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I hope they don't do that.
Please, for the love of God and all is holy, don't do it. Please.
Maybe they'll do it, and then they have to change history and just be like, okay, 64 is too much. Let's go back down to 48.
No. I'm sorry, Christopher. They're going to be like, well, it makes more money because we're.
Well, yeah, it's all about money for sure. I mean,
and we're not going to lower that down, because money talks.
Well, maybe money talks. So maybe if it doesn't work out for 64, If 64
Oh
ever
no,
does
they
happen.
will never. They're never going to regress. I would put on God's green earth they ain't going to regress right over here. But
So
we should probably talk about
once you keep going, you're not going to decrease the amount of teams. I got it. All right, gotcha.
yeah. Is it
Just
the
like
same thing
college
as March
football.
Madness? Do you think they're going to go back to 64? No.
Yeah, it's just like college football, March Madness. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, but we should probably do a eulogy on Belgium. They kind of did shaky. They did booty cheeked my USA team. That was not fun. Not fun indeed. But do you have any eulogies on Belgium? They kind of feel like they're always like, the USA. I feel like it's like the team that always can only make it the Sweet 16. I feel like Belgium's always that team that can make it far, but they just like they're never going to win a World Cup. Let's be
Oh yeah,
honest.
Belgium in their history, looking at it right now, they've never won it. They've finished third. That's their highest they've ever finished. That was back in 2018, and then 1986 they finished fourth. So finishing fourth was their second highest finish.
Yeah,
28.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean they're always consistently reaching. I mean 2014, well 2022 they knocked down, they got eliminated in the group stage. But then 2014 reached the quarterfinals, round of 16. Yeah, but like you said, Stuart, they're that team. It's like, man, what I'm trying to think of a college that always.
Oh, I got an NFL team. The Bills.
NFL team. Okay, I was thinking of like a college basketball team that always makes the final
This is
four.
a team
Just
I'm
can't
thinking
really-
about. Buffalo Bills. They're always consistent, always good. Somehow they can't make it. There's always a heartache at the end.
Right. Yeah, they just can't get over that hump, like as you say, Stuart, and make it to the finals, or make it to the semi. I mean, they're making it to the semifinals if they're finishing third and fourth place, but all the other years, yeah, they're reaching the round of 16, quarterfinals. So yeah, they're always that team that just can't do it.
Nope. They could not do it on this one.
Plus,
They're
they're losing. They're losing. Their goalie. His last name is Courtois. I don't recall his first name, but he's retiring from international play after this year, so they'll lose their goaltender. Yeah, I'm sure they'll find another guy.
Yes. But unfortunately for the Belgians, we just burned some Belgian waffles, unfortunately. Spaniards burned some Belgian waffles. But this one, we got a little bit of I'm heartbroken because I wanted Norway to win. I wanted them to row. I thought they were going to win this game.
Like I said, they had their chances. They had that one pass. They were inside the box. Holland was wide open until the defender scooted over because the right forward, he was dribbling the ball inside the box. He could have passed it, but his time just collapsed and he waited too long to make the pass, and then he ended up shooting it and completely missed it. Or well, he didn't miss it, but he got blocked. So yeah, like I said, Norway had their chances.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll start with the good news. Good for England. They made it to the Final Four. Last time they only made it to the quarterfinals in 2022, and then they got bounced out. I believe it was Argentina, if I remember correctly. If that was for like 2022, like I know it was one of the teams that was in that's in the finals right now. Like I believe, yeah. Let me do my double check. Yes, they lost to France 2-1.
England lost to France in what year?
2022.
Okay, was that this? That wasn't. Well, that probably was the quarterfinal because we just said Morocco lost to France in the semifinal.
Yeah.
So that means England must have lost to France in the quarterfinal. All right, gotcha.
Yeah. So unfortunately, last time, but England can do it. They're screaming their favorite player. They're like, "Oh, good for England, good for Harry Kane. Oh my goodness, it's coming home. Harry Kane's gonna bring it home."
You said, Stuart. I don't agree with that statement though. And like I said earlier, I've never heard anyone say that.
It's coming home.
We're gonna bring it home. Now.
It's coming home. Hey, Chris, me and my mates are at the pub, and it's coming home.
Yeah, if someone said that to me at a bar, I'd probably either ignore them or I'd probably tell them you're completely wrong. England's not going to win the cup.
No,
I mean, hey, who knows? Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe the Three Lions will win it. You never know.
Yeah, you never know on this one. I mean, granted, they did make it. They did make it to the Final Four. Good for them. They got Harry Kane. They looked amazing. Like I said, I thought Norway was going to win this game. I actually picked Norway. It was the only incorrect team that I actually predicted because I was just like, oh man, England's going to fucking.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I mean, England also has Jude Bellingham, who scored both their goals in that game. It's crazy. We always think of Harry, or when we think of England football or soccer, we think of Harry Kane. When we think of Norway soccer football, we think of Erling Haaland. Neither of those guys scored here in the quarterfinal match, which was very eye opening. But yeah, it just shows that they have other players other than just Harry Kane that could show up and make moves and score goals. So England did it, and now they're on the semifinal on Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, good for them. I mean, honestly. Like, you can't get mad. Like, I mean, for Norway, it's going to be interesting because, like I said, we'll probably do our eulogy on Norway. Unfortunately, this has actually been a successful season for Norway. Last time they made the World Cup was 1998, and they only made the group stages. So Norway, for the first time, made it to the knockout and to make it to the quarterfinals and to lead England, who's in the top 4. I love Erling Haaland. You can't complain. This has actually been a successful season.
Oh yeah, I mean, even Erling Haaland, when they lost, he went up to Jude Bellingham and he said something, but it was good sportsmanship. Showing that he's not mad about it. He's definitely proud that Norway made it this far. It was Erling Haaland's first World Cup, so he'll be back for at least. I think I mentioned in last week's podcast. He'll be back at least for the next 3 World Cups. So yeah.
I mean, he's 26, so he has at least guaranteed 3 more World Cups. I mean, and Norway's a prime, and Norway could be a beast. I think we got to see how it goes in 2030, but I definitely do see Norway going to make it back. They could be that dark horse again. I mean, now it's going to be interesting because they're not going to be that dark horse like last time. I mean, granted, everyone loved Harling, but we'll see when 2030 comes, and when we do the podcast in 2030, we'll see how that goes. But unfortunately, we got to do our Viking salute, Chris. Row out of the postseason. Row out of the postseason.
Make that into a YouTube short. Us rowing.
Row your boat. But next and then finally we got to talk about Argentina versus Switzerland. I was actually at a bar watching this game right over here. I was thinking, man, is Switzerland going to win this game? I was like,
I mean, that went all 100. That went into, well, I guess all overtime is 2 overtime sessions.
They did extra time, I should say. Extra time.
Yeah. So overtime, extra time, what have you. Yeah, I was worried too. But here's the thing: like Switzerland, they got that guy who got a red card, dude. When he got the red card, I saw the emotion. Everyone did. He was crying. Obviously, a big important game on the world stage. Getting that red card in the 72nd minute. So Switzerland was playing 10 men for the final 18 minutes of the game. All Argentina has to do is put it in the back of the net to prevent this from going to overtime. They didn't do that, but I mean, Switzerland, that shows that the good fighting team. But yeah, too much for Argentina, not enough from Switzerland into the extra time, and 3-1 Argentina. But go ahead, Stuart. My apologies.
Yeah, I'm actually was kind of surprised that this game went to overtime. I thought this one was going to be like 3-1. I would probably be like, 3-1 regular season right now. But I will say, good for Argentina. They always have these ugly games, but they still come back and win. A team that totally reminds me of this, Chris, and you can get back to your point.
The Kansas City Chiefs.
The second time they won the Super Bowl, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, always finding a way to win stuff. That's another thing. Like, speaking about the Kansas City Chiefs, we've definitely talked about it on our podcast before. Doug and I were pretty adamant about it, how like the Chiefs get these calls from the referees, and we always think that the referees are going for the Chiefs. I've been reading articles, I've been seeing things. It seems like, and I haven't really seen this in the games that I've watched for Argentina, but a lot of people are saying that like, the referees are pulling Argentina's way. So that could be another comparison to the Kansas City Chiefs.
But
the referees want them to go far.
But like my dad always says it, and I have to agree with him on this one. Teams that are complaining about refs and all that stuff, I'm going to say, do better, beat them decisively.
Exactly.
When you beat them decisively, you don't have those issues. It's like when that Super Bowl, when it was against the Chiefs and the Eagles. Eagles had one bad call. No one remembers that bad call because they beat the fuck out of the Chiefs by like 20 points.
Yeah, if you're up on a team by enough points or touchdowns or whatever you call it, yeah, you don't have to get the referees involved. Just beat them fair and square, beat them straight up, and so.
Yes. But
like this game. Oh, yeah, back to my point is like we talked about England and Norway. We talked about Harry Kane and Erling Haaland. This is another game. When you think of Argentina soccer, Argentina football, you think of, who else? Lionel Messi. And look at the scorecard here. Lionel Messi did not put one in the back of the net. So, like these teams, like obviously they have big name stars, but they have other players too that can easily, put that ball in between the goalposts.
Yeah, and you know what? It's like the same thing with, I feel like with like MJ, MJ was a GOAT, but you know what? He needed his cast of characters to help him out right over here. And guess who's back here right over here, Douglas? Yay, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thank you, gentlemen. I'm gonna keep my camera off on this one, but I'm glad I could make some of it.
Yeah, yes, Doug, we're talking about Argentina and Switzerland, the final game of the quarterfinals.
Yeah, and I talked about a good analogy. I feel like it's like the Chiefs when they won the third Super Bowl. When I was like, this like Argentina's like, I don't know if this team's good. I mean, look at they're playing the postseason. They barely beat Cape Verde. They barely beat. They had to come back from Egypt. And the Switzerland team is like, but they tied them. But I'm like, they had 3 bad games, but you know what? They still fucking won.
That's what great teams do, As much as I hate to admit it, and how right you were on the Chiefs that year, you're not. It's a good analogy.
Yeah, like this is like a good. Like I feel like Argentina's definitely, and they came back to back, championships. We'll see if they can do it. We can see if they can do that one. But good for Argentina, honestly. Not that surprised that they made it to the Final Four. Like, let's be honest.
Did you hear the controversy though that they were like basically in their last game, Egypt was stating that they thought that they just wanted Messi to stay in the tournament with some of their calls.
Yeah, but you know what I gotta say, Argentina, and you know what I gotta say to Egypt. This is like my dad, and I think I kind of agree with him. And I told Chris this: play better, beat them decisively. You beat them decisively. You don't have calls that will hurt you.
On the lines of what Doug was saying, I saw something about that too. Like maybe FIFA is orchestrating Argentina to make it to the finals or even the semifinals because they want publicity. I don't remember the exact number, but once USA got eliminated and once Portugal with Cristiano Ronaldo got eliminated, ticket prices went down drastically. So yeah, maybe FIFA wants maybe it's a marketing technique because obviously France has Kylian Mbappé, but on the other side of the bracket, there's Lionel Messi. So maybe I'm not saying it is rigged, but if I was to rig this tournament, I would put Mbappé versus Messi in the finals. So, also Doug, before you popped on, we compared Argentina to the Kansas City Chiefs, a team that always finds ways to win. And then I did bring up how I've read articles saying that the referees are siding with Argentina, and how Kansas City Chiefs, they get help from the referees as well.
Yeah, no, it's a good point, man. It does feel similar, where it's like maybe just people being haters, or maybe there's something to it. Who knows?
But also, I will say, if they would have rigged it, they should have rigged it for Ronaldo, and they didn't do shit. But Portugal can't do shit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can't rig it for all these superstars when it's their final World Cup. Like I said last week's podcast, this year, Messi's 41. I doubt he's going to play when he's at the age of 45 in 2030 for that World Cup. So this will be Messi's last World Cup. I know it was Ronaldo's last World Cup, but Ronaldo's never won a World Cup. So why are we giving Ronaldo a World Cup in his last appearance?
Like I will say, if the FIFA really want to read it, and granted, I think FIFA's corrupt as all hell, and like I said, they don't give a damn about this. They don't give a damn. They just all about that dollar bills, y'all. But if they did really, 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 really want to rig this, they would have rigged it for Ronaldo just to get that one World Cup. His final thing. Portugal gets it. You know what I mean? He's the superstar, super
Maybe.
GOAT. His
But,
final
dude,
hurrah.
maybe they agree that Messi's the GOAT.
I don't know.
I was just about to say that. Like Ronaldo's a great player. He's never won a World Cup. Maybe he's like a James Harden or something like that. Great player, will go down in history, but will never win a championship. Ronaldo's won championships. He's won titles, but we're talking about the World Cup. Maybe he's a player that he'll just always try to do it, but can't really get over that threshold to actually hoist a trophy in the air in front of the world.
Dang. Yeah.
But
also, sir, you said earlier, Argentina, they won in 2022. So why not make them back-to-back world champs and like Doug said, really imprint Messi's name as being the best, the greatest of all time with back-to-back World Cup titles. So
yeah, but I will say, back to what I was going to say, my eulogy on Switzerland. I guess we should probably do the eulogy. Good for Switzerland. First time they made the quarterfinals since 1954. It's been that long. It's been 60 years. I don't think when we think of powerhouses in Europe, we don't think of Switzerland. They're kind of like this mid-ish team, but good for them. They tied Argentina. It sucks that you got the red card, but you made it to – yeah, I mean, you came close to getting penalties. But
sorry, I have no comments on Switzerland.
Yeah,
I'm neutral on Switzerland as well.
I think I might have said my thoughts earlier about Switzerland when we said how this game was going into overtime.
Yeah, I feel like once they got to overtime, they got that first goal. I was like, it's over. Like I just felt like Argentina had that like in overtime. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
Argentina basically they had the offense, and then basically you just like Switzerland just basically just pray to God that the no goals got in there, and they're going to penalty kicks. But
I mean, yeah. Going back to the other game just for a moment, it was a shame to see Holland get subbed off late in that game.
Yeah, that one sucked right over there. I mean, granted, we talked about Norway when we did our eulogy, and I said, good for Norway. First time since 1998 they made a World Cup. I mean, first time in country's history they made the quarterfinals. So you can't get mad at this season. And I feel like for Switzerland is the same thing. You can't get mad at like how this season went. They made it to the quarterfinals, and they tied against Argentina, who's like the reigning champs. Like you can't get mad at this season.
I mean, I feel like too for most countries, like getting to this level is a huge accomplishment and something to be proud of.
Yeah, you cannot get mad about this one. And unfortunately for Switzerland, your chocolate just melted. Done. But I will say, gentlemen, we should say before we talk about previews for the Final Four, we got to do our gold, medal, silver, and bronze for the 4 teams that are left right over here. And this one's going to be interesting because now we're going to pick who do you think is the top 4 right over here. So I know, Christopher, you came first. Christopher, do you have your top 4? I mean, your bronze, silver, and gold.
Yeah, so in no particular order for bronze and silver. We touched on this before we started the pod today. France and Argentina, they're my gold, silver, 1, 2. 1A, 1B. It's going to be a great – I'm still very confident that – I'm not saying it's rigged, but I'm still very confident that's going to be France and Argentina in the World Cup final. Will that be this upcoming Sunday? 1A, 1B, France, Argentina. And then my silver medalist, if it was going to be – it's going to be England over Spain. I assume that's going to be the third place matchup. England versus Spain, so we'll see if my bronze medal pick is correct. So, yeah.
Nice.
I guess I'll go. I think honestly, my gold is Mbappé. Let's go France. Dictator Mbappé is just, looking good. They beat Morocco. This team looks amazing. I honestly think they could probably win this World Cup. Actually, that's gonna be my prediction right over here. Spoiler alert. I'm going to go with my silver, going to be Argentina. I think Argentina looks really good. They're like that team, and I will always say it. They will have like ugly wins, but they're still winning. They're still continuing. They're still, winning. There's teams that have ugly losses, like Germany, have a bad game and they're out. Argentina still has bad games and they still win. And it's been 3 in a row. So I still think Argentina is going to get it. And I'll give my bronze to England. You did beat Holland. You did beat Norway. You did come back and win this one. I can't get mad at right over here. So good for you, England. But it's not coming home. It's not coming home, Douglas. Anyway, Douglas, who is your gold, silver, and bronze?
Well, because I want to win some of that DoorDash money, Spain's going to get my bronze.
What?
I root for them, although I don't understand why they are the underdogs. Then I will go Argentina the silver and France the gold.
Same as you agree. This is basically the top 4.
So, Doug, for you to win a share of that $1 million for DoorDash, do they have to win it all or just place medal-wise?
No, they have to win the whole thing.
They have to win the entire thing, and that's Spain, correct?
That is Spain. Yep, probably got the longest odds, but we're gonna believe. Why disbelieve now?
Yes. Why don't you believe this now? But anyway, gentlemen, now we got our gold, silver, and bronze, and now we got to do our final preview for who is going to win and make it to the finals. Spain versus France. Interesting fact in this game, Douglas, and I did not realize this. The time that Spain and France do play against each other, Spain wins. Ironically.
Based on what? What's the overall record?
I believe they won 3 times in a row.
Spain's
that's incorrect. I could already tell you that. So France versus Spain, 2025, June 5th, Spain won 5-4. July 9th, 2024, Spain won 2-1.
But I'm talking about World Cups.
Oh, we're talking about World Cup. Okay, I thought we were talking about most recent. When you said 3,
that don't count because that's like
most recent
and like friendlies.
Gotcha. All right.
I mean, I like the odds, man. I'm gonna roll with it. I'd give me Spain for sure.
But also, fun fact, Doug, we mentioned this before you hopped on, is Spain, out of all the World Cups they've been in, they've only been to 1 Final Four appearance or 1 semifinal round, and that was the year 2010 when they won it.
Exactly.
So it seems like they're pretty good when it comes to being one of the final 4 countries remaining. I mean, I assume Spain is an underdog in this matchup. Don't be surprised if the underdog wins. I'm still going to pick France. It's hard to do. I mentioned earlier France has a good forward and midfield attack, so I would still take France. But I would take France maybe 2-1. And if I would say this game goes to extra time, so overtime.
Yeah, I honestly am going to pick France and dictator Mbappé. They're going to do it. Let's be honest. Like, there is no way on God's green earth. I don't think Spain's going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I could even argue
a $2 bet.
I'll put a $5 bet on it, Douglas.
$5? All right, I'll do that. Fine.
Oh, yeah. So you're going $5? Douglas going $2.
Also, I was incorrect. I checked it out. Apparently, the last time they played against each other was 2006. France won 3-1 in the round of 16.
So you did look up the World Cup matchups? All right.
I did look it up.
Oh my gosh! Dude, if we were playing a game of pool, you threw that at me afterwards. You said 3 in a row for Spain, Stu. I mean,
Doug's putting $5 on the Spaniard.
You meant to say
my $5 was based on that 3-game winning streak.
This was Wall Stewart's plan of attack, actually.
I was living in the past.
But granted, that was like 20 years ago, and that's like a different team.
But also, Doug, like I mentioned, Spain, they've won 2 out of the last 3 games. Or, I mean, here, let's see what we got here. 2025, 2024, Spain won both those games. And then they played in 2025, 2024. Then the most recent one was 2021. So you got to go off the 2 most recent, because those were only 2 years ago. And Spain won both those games. So, hey, Spaniards are in there.
There we go.
Spaniards
Spain
are
for the
in this
dub.
one. We'll see if the Spaniards can do this one right over here. And now we got England versus Argentina, which I will say Argentina kind of holds them a little bit. Just saying, like the last
what a
time.
matchup though, low-key.
Yeah, interestingly enough, the last time they played against each other, this is the infamous 1998 one, which was a great matchup. I believe this was David Beckham's first World Cup, if I remember correctly. They lost in penalties. Funny enough, in England. No, this was in France. In the round of 16.
Who was playing in this matchup? It was Argentina versus England, you're saying?
Argentina and England last time was 1998.
Oh.
Yeah, they did play against each other in the group stage in 2002, and England won. But this is that's the last time. Like I said, for an Englishman, that game is probably infamous right there. 1990, I would say 98 is like an infamous game where it's just like, ah. Now it's interesting. So I guess we'll start with the Argentina, always been dominant. This is the World Cup champions last time. They're coming back. They've been looking dominant. Granted, they've been having a couple bad games, but they've still been winning, still been consistent, still been doing good. Argentina's always that team that's like, I'm under pressure and I will find a fucking way to win this game. That's the one thing Argentina has done that's been pretty impressive.
Clutch, man.
They got the clutch gene right there. They got that clutch gene. They can do this.
See, give me England.
Yeah, right. It's like the underdogs.
Bullshit.
I think I'm going to go with England on all seriousness.
What? What?
That was a beautiful speech, though, Stu. I loved it.
You trying to trigger me? Oh, my God. So, funny enough, the last time they made it to the Final Four, the quarterfinals, was in 2018, and then they lost to Croatia. So I always feel like England's narrative, and this is always like, I always feel like this is always England's narrative, is since 1966, and after they win the World Cup and they beat West Germany, and it's like, it's coming home. That was the greatest game.
Is this a
ever.
Donald Trump impersonation talking about England over here?
Yes, it's coming home. No. Trying to do my British accent.
It sounds like your Donald Trump impersonation.
It did.
Sorry. But I always feel like England's reputation is always, when do they drop the ball? When did they choke? When did they fail? When is England going to England? As someone once
When's
said.
the last time England won a World Cup?
1966.
Ooh.
And like I said,
60 years later, it's not going to happen again.
no, I just feel like there's always that narrative of England choking and England just like, and there's some English people, there's some people, there's like, I hate to put an analogy on this one, but they're like the Dallas Cowboys, idolizing that 66 World Cup.
They are.
Talk about like us in the 90s. Talk about this is our year. Every year, it's coming home. You know what? I'm going to say it as a Cowboys fan.
Have a superstar that's a touch overrated.
How dare you! How fucking dare you! We're going to win this! It's way home! You know what?
That was just a factual opinion.
A factual opinion.
I'm just telling you, the Lombardi is coming home. I want to be like England. If England can win a World Cup, then God damn it, the Cowboys are winning a Super Bowl.
There we go.
It's coming home. It's coming home. Damn it.
All right, so Sir, who are you picking in this game? I want to make my predictions before I have to sign off here.
Okay, it's Argentina. Let's be fucking honest. Argentina's going to win this one. England's going to choke. And then I'm going to basically do my eulogy and just say, same old England team, same old shit. Nothing fucking changes. Hasn't done shit since 66.
There we go.
Give me the referees. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs. Give me Argentina to make it to the World Cup. And I would even say, on next week's podcast, I might even say the same exact thing. But next week I'll say, give me Argentina to go back-to-back World Cup champions. But Argentina made it to the finals against France.
I'm
give
going to go pick
me
France.
Spain. Win me DoorDash money.
Yeah, I'm going France. France versus Argentina, the rematch.
I hope DoorDash listens to our podcast or one of their higher ups, and then we can get sponsored by DoorDash since Doug keeps giving them the shout out. So come on, DoorDash, let's go.
There we go.
need you.
Yeah, this has all been free. This has been free of charge.
Yeah, all right. All this free advertising.
DoorDash. If you want to get some cheap food, if you want to get some good food and delivered to your home, come to DoorDash. DoorDash. Yeah.
For all of our listeners, use promo code Casual Sports Talk Podcast for a 0% discount. Thanks, guys.
Yes, please on that one. But look at that, gentlemen. That is it for look at that. The World Cup. Look at that. Next week, we're going to have, and this is the fun part, we're going to talk about our champions, and we're going to have 3 eulogies for next week.
I think next week we're also going to talk about how LeBron's going to sign with the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Oh, so that'll be fun.
Aren't you excited, Chris?
Well, I did. I don't know if you wrote it in our group text today, but my prediction is LeBron James is making taking his time to make his announcement until after the World Cup because LeBron wants all eyes on him. So
LeBron James to the Cavs. Are you excited for that?
Yeah, because we all want to hear what a 40-year-old guy where he's going to go next and play some basketball.
I'm going to take my talents. I'm going back to Cleveland.
Honestly, I would root for the Cavs to win one more. If LeBron was there.
Even if it was Detroit and Cavs in the Eastern Conference Final, you would still root for them. So I appreciate it.
I wouldn't go that far.
Now, Chris, if LeBron comes, are you going to say it's coming home? It's coming home to Cleveland.
No, I'm not going to be that crazy. I'm not going to be like Easter. Oh, Dallas Cowboys it's our year Super Bowl. I'm not going to be like Cavs. It's the Cavs' year to win an NBA championship. 2016 now 2027. 11 years later. That's not. Those words will not come out of my mouth. No way.
With all the turmoil in the world right now, they're deciding to do a Warriors versus Cavaliers final again. One more chapter.
No!
One more chapter.
No,
I'd be cool with it. I mean, because what we want, like it was Cavs and the Warriors. Was it 2025, 2020, or sorry, 2015, 2016, 2017? I know it's at least 3 years in a row. Maybe 2020, maybe 2014 as well. So yeah, make it a 10-year reunion for everyone. Heck yeah.
Yes,
that'd be fun.
Do you know how mad Oklahoma City Thunder fans would be, and how mad San Antonio Spurs fans would be, because those are the top 2 teams in the West. Well, Minnesota maybe, since they're getting some players on their team, but those guys would be so mad if Golden State made it to the finals.
I heard the Warriors are about to trade for Kevin Durant.
Katie's the GOAT. Katie's the GOAT in this one, indeed. And look at that, gentlemen. That is it for our podcast right over here. So next week, we will do a crowning of the recaps of the Final Four. Probably not going to do the 3rd place matchup because who cares? No one gives a shit.
I mean,
there's the championship where one of these teams are going to be holding up the World Cup, and 3 of them will get participation trophies of sadness and eulogies. And I will say in 2 weeks, I'm texting my one friend, Jeff, we might do a weekend podcast just discussing college football previews because we're getting closer to the fall.
That's right. It's the last month without football. Let's go.
Let's go. And as always, gentlemen, I'm going to catch you later, Mr. Gator. So as always, take care. Bye-bye.